Hello, Mariner fans. Robbie Ross, voice of the Mariners, joined by Kevin Price, Sports Information Director and head golf coach, men's golf coach of the College of Coastal Georgia, Mike Cook. We're coming to you today from the Murphy Kuchar Putting Green here on campus on Coastal Georgia here in Brunswick, talking men's golf and what was going to be a big weekend here in the Golden Isles, canceled due to the potential of Hurricane Irma. The Coastal Georgia Fall Invitational at Retreat Golf Course on Sea Island canceled, but we do have a makeup date for October 30th through the 31st. Coach, first of all, talk about the what led you to decide, other than obviously the weather, but bringing teams in, all of that, the logistics probably is what led you to cancel.
Well, a couple of days ago, I reached out to all the coaches and told them that the forecast does not look good, and I was going to make a decision this afternoon whether or not we're going to reschedule. And I told our athletic director, B. Carlton, that, and he said this morning, let's go ahead and cancel. We were to have 19 teams come, a strong field. Many of them are already pulling out yesterday and today, and I think it's the right thing to do, because the weather, even if it doesn't hit, it's going to be blustery and wet. So we found a good date, October 30th and 31st at Sea Island, and we're going to be able to play the men's and the women's, I believe, on that same day at Sea Island.
Same field has committed so far?
Well, we've had we've got 7 teams committed for the men that were coming. It might be able to pick up some others that weren't coming, but I suspect we'll get 10 to 12 men's teams and probably 5 or 6 women's teams. So it'll be a good field.
And Coach, we had planned to use this opportunity to do a team preview, so that's essentially what we're going to do. But this year you got a bigger roster than maybe you've had throughout your time here with Coastal Georgia. Just talk about bringing in so many new players to come with the returning guys to give you a big roster.
Well, the roster is 13, and that's the highest I've ever had. We've had 12 back in 2014 on the championship team. We did have 12. The newcomers, I mean, we're bringing in 7. We brought in 7, and two players are transfers from Division I schools. Kyle Kidd from Colorado State and Mark David Johnson from Western Carolina. They bring a lot of experience. They played in Division I. They didn't just sit on the bench. They played. Mark David won a tournament last year for Western Carolina. He's a medalist. Some notable freshmen that have arrived are Chip Thompson and Jackson Lawler. They were both highly ranked Georgia high school golfers for the last couple of years. And another freshman that we have is Sean Margison from Nova Scotia. He's the top player in the province of Nova Scotia, one of the best players in Canada. I'm sure that all these guys are going to do well. And we have a lot of returning players as well. But big roster. It is.
It is.
Coach, talk about some of the things you've been preparing since school started. Everybody got on campus to prepare for the season, which now obviously will be delayed by a couple of weeks.
Well, we did physicals first. We got them to class, make sure that all is settled. We started practicing. We started qualifying for this invitation that we're going to have this weekend. So we've had 5 qualifying rounds thus far, and the top 5 was starting to settle itself a bit. Now what we're going to have to do is look at our next event, which will be at Thomas University in about 2 weeks. We're going to play at Kinderloo Golf Club, and we'll probably use these same qualifying rounds and add to those, and then that's going to be our first event at Thomas University. I think it's September 25th. So we can still have more work to do to get ready.
Hey, Coach, you did allude to some of the new players by name. I know some of those guys, as we've talked, are playing well in the qualifying rounds. Just talk about some of the new guys and what impresses you about them so far.
Well, Kyle and Mark David, even though they play Division I, they moving down to NEI. You wonder if they feel like it's a big difference. But they see that we have a lot of talent, as there is, and it's not a guarantee that they'll qualify and make the top 5. So they see that we have a strong contingency, and everybody seems to be swinging well. We're trying to work on short game save more shots. You know, returning starters. You know, we have 3 seniors. We have some senior leadership. We have Harrison Stafford, AJ Patel, and Laurie Hackman, and Eamon Owen, who's a junior. 3 of those guys played in national tournaments in the past. Eamon, Harrison, and Laurie, they've already seen national. They played in national tournament already, so there's a lot of experience that's already here, and of course the 7 guys are coming in.
What do you look for from those upperclassmen? You mentioned the 3 seniors and the juniors that have been on the national stage. What do you look for to help not only the younger incoming freshmen, but the newer guys to the team to get them ready for the national stage?
Yeah, you know, they seem to be getting along well. The seniors, you know, they're the leaders. You know, they're playing with the younger guys. They're showing them where to go, and they're practicing together. They're trying to help each other out with their swings. If I'm there, if I'm not there, you know, they'll take their phones with video, and they're trying to help each other out. And that's what we need. We need chemistry, and that's what we had. We had those championship teams. I feel like this could be one of those good teams again that we've had in the past. Talent-wise, I'd say on paper it looks as talent as 2014, that first championship team. You never know it. We have to get the right guys playing well, the right guys, the right 5 at the right time. Got to get hot at the right time. But the senior leadership is very important. And Harrison does a great job. He congratulates a kid for a good round. That's his great round. So is AJ, and we have a couple of juniors, Eamon and Mark David. That's just what we need that.
And Coach, just kind of looking at the schedule, obviously you usually do start with your fall invitational and you line up some other good tournaments for the fall, and then go forth again with some good tournaments in the spring season. Of course, that includes the conference and hopefully the national tournament as well. But talk about the schedule you'll be facing this fall once you do get going, and maybe what you kind of have lined up for the spring. Looks similar, where you'll be playing in some of the similar events against top-notch competition.
Right. This fall we do have a strong lineup. The tournament at Thomas is a strong field. Dalton State will be there. They're ranked 2nd in the nation. Kaiser, who's in our conference, they're ranked 8th. Southeastern will be there. They're 10th. The first tournament we play in at Thomas, there'll be at least five teams in the top 20. It may not be 20 teams, but maybe 12 teams, but 5 in the top 20. So that's a good way to start the season. Then we go to Innisbrook in early October. Copperhead, tough. That's where they play the tour now. And Oklahoma City, I think, is coming to that one. They're number 1. Dalton State will be there number 2. So we may have 9 top 20 teams at that event. It's going to be a great field. And then we go to Doral in Miami a couple of weeks after that. Johnson Wells hosts a tournament. They'll field a top tier schedule as well, a top field as well. And then we're going to end it with our invitation. And hopefully we'll play well enough this fall to move up in the rankings, which I guess we're 20th right now. I'd like to end the fall at the top 10. That's where we go. Top 10 going into spring.
And Coach, all the teams here at the College of Coastal Georgia having to adjust to a new conference, the Sun Conference.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about the competition you'll see in the Sun Conference for the first time this year.
Well, the Sun Conference in golf is, I say it's a little bit like the SEC golf conference in Division I. There's 5 teams in our conference in the top 20. And last year, I want to say there were 5 teams or 4 teams that played the national championship from that conference. And that's not counting us. We were not in the Sun Conference last year, so it would have been 5 if it was us. But so we played with these teams though in the last 4 years. We play in most of the tournaments, the big tournaments. We play at USC Buford's tournament. We go to Johnson Wells. We may end up going to Kaiser's tournament this spring. We haven't in the past. So we see these teams. We've been playing against them for many, many years. I think that's what's helped us build up our ranking and notoriety, if you want to call it, because we've had a lot of success playing against those teams in the past. Last year we didn't do as well against them, but in the past we won many of our tournaments. They were in the field, and we got the higher rankings, and that's how we got to #1 a few times, or #5. So it's going to be a challenge. Now, they've got us at the bottom. They've got us not the bottom. They got us fifth in the conference.
Yeah.
So that's where we're starting. And those rankings, how they work for the national rankings is you have to be in that order in the national ranking. You can't jump somebody in the national ranking if you're stacked that way in your conference. So that's the challenge we have. If we're still fifth in the conference, if we look like we're a better team than fifth, we're going to be down at the bottom in that ranking. So we have to do well.
And Coach, obviously the expectations are always high. You set the bar high here at Coastal Georgia from the beginning. Won 2 national championships back-to-back in 2014 and 15. I've been in 4 straight national tournaments. I guess this season is not going to be any different than the others. You're going to have high expectations for your team and your players.
We have high expectations, and I tell them the first meeting we had, I said, if you guys just do your job and play your game. Anytime you're in competition, just you play to win the tournament. You can't worry about the team. You can't worry about what the other players do. You can't worry about what I'm thinking. You just have to play the course. And basically, the individual's trying to win the tournament. They're trying to be a medalist. And if you do well in competition individually, the team scores will add up, and the team will do well. And I tell them about the past All-Americans that we've had. We've had 15 All-Americans at Coastal, and I can't see any reason why we can't have 3 this year. And the more All-Americans we have All-American play, the team's going to do well. We'll meet our expectations. But our main goal is to stay up in the rankings, improve, try to win some championships, and get to that national championship again, and get ready for it.
Coach Cook, thanks for joining us. Once again, the Fall Invitational has been canceled for this weekend and rescheduled for October 30th and 31st due to Hurricane Irma. I'd like to thank Coach Cook, Kevin Price for joining us right here on the College of Coastal Georgia website, coastalgeorgiasports.com.